Hi, Miss Aguilar. I hope you guys are making it through day 2 with us. I wanted to kind of maybe show you all the extras that are presented in this OMS that are not required, because I hear you. There's a lot of extra information there. Miss Wistak and I spent the last year learning all the extras, because this is a new setup for us last year, and spent a lot of time this summer carving out half of it. So I promise you, we really thought hard about how we could present the least amount of information, but we don't have complete flexibility within the program. So we took out half the lessons, but you might still see some extras in there that are up to you. Some students are asking for more work, and most students need what is there. So here's a couple things that I wanted to point out. Maybe it would help you. I don't know if you caught this Lessons Learned intro. This is an overview of the stories that we are going to read. And like I said, since we took out half, you're going to see some stuff that maybe doesn't apply to us anymore, but we can't take out line by line according to the platform. So this unit, we're talking about context clues, symbolism, explicit, implicit meaning, text evidence. Of course, we'll talk about that all through the year. Those are the stories listed right here. The Stone, Cato's Wall, Fisherman's Wife, biography of Harun al-Rashid, Aladdin the Wonderful Lamp, and all of those are found both embedded in the lessons. I'm sure you found them, and through the online textbook. So, for example, the first set that you guys finished, I'm doing this through a student view. There's a lot of information on the first one. You're right. I want to say first, the only things that you are required to do are what transfer to the gradebook. And out of all of this information, all of the graphic organizers and all of the technology assistance they try to offer you, there's only 2 grades that come from this. One comes from this discussion, which is very flowy. It's very meant to be positive, and I don't imagine anybody who attempted it will ever, score less than perfect on that. That's just our first attempt at a discussion tool there. And then the other thing was a actual quiz in here. And it was just a 5-question quiz over some of the vocabulary and story from the Stone. So I know, because I've gone through this a couple times with students, there's a lot of extra information in here that is not needed. So hopefully as you progress, both you and your student progress through the experience here, you'll see all this extra stuff that is presented to you as the learning coach in case you're not able to come to Class Connects. There's all this background information that we kind of wrap into our Class Connects. So this is not something that I'm taking this technology appropriately. That's just really for student information. It's not something turned in. This is them talking about what is a Class Connect session. You're right, it's a lot of reading. So if you feel like you want to edit this for your student, you're completely able to do that, especially, as you mentioned, you're a previous educator. You can take the meat and potatoes if that's helpful for your student. It's not something that we have the ability to do through the platform ourselves, as we tried to, like I said, shave it down. There's just some things we couldn't shave down. So these are the words. These are great words to see. I'm sure you figured out how to download that document there. But then every single unit, it asks students to put those words in a graphic organizer and practice them. That is not something that we grade. It's a great study tool, but again, it's I think more built for those students who don't use Class Connects at all and don't ask for help outside of just this platform. So the meat and potatoes we're trying to get to is the story. Check out those vocabulary words. We might see 1 or 2 of those on the quiz. And then think about, sorry, I don't know why it's giving me a weird view here. I'm trying to fix that. Probably because I'm trying to be a student. Right, and there's some practice right there. Great practice vocabulary, but if that is super easy, don't waste any time on it. Move on. Life lessons, the whole theme of this lessons in this Unit 1 is about lessons learned, and it will be the theme also in the story, The Stone. So again, if you feel like this is really hard for your student to deal with, you might want to preview it and make some choices about what is important. If you think it's just more important to present this story in front and not waste that valuable brain energy on all the extras, trying to figure out what's useful and what's not, then I would say you're the expert of your student for that. Again, there was a graphic organizer. It's not something that I'm going to pick up or take. The only grades, again, are, this is a great little comprehension check. No grade on it. It's just to check for understanding. Make sure you're ready for the big quiz there. 5-question quiz at the end. So the actual meat and potatoes of it is a lot smaller. And I think, well, some lessons are a lot of pages and some are not. And it warns you there was more to do in that activity, but I didn't need to fill out the sheet for making predictions. So this is a great review of the stone, just to make sure that the student actually read it, did it, and is ready for the quiz. Another place that you can look and see after you go through that lesson, and hopefully you'll find what works for you to make it go faster or more streamlined, more edited for what works for you. Here's something else that we publish every Monday on each page, each content page. Here's my ELA page, right? And here is a reminder of what you should be doing this week in ELA. Last week, we started on 8:15 and 8:16, and those 2 days were really to get oriented, both with our map and start some orientations and make sure that you are ready for the Class Connects to come. Bookline your online reading book there. And then also here's, are you ready for the week coming? Here's what's about to happen. Just read that intro. Start your lesson, learn 1.01. There's a quiz and there's a discussion. 5 questions on the quiz, 1 story, and a quick little classroom communication about your reading habits. If you've got a day sick, or if this is just too much for one day, then you can also look ahead and say there isn't another thing assigned until Wednesday, and then that's really it. It's just 2 lessons across the entire week. The only grades that are going to come out of that week, 8-19, are right here. So that's another place that might really help you focus where the energy should be spent, because you're right, there's so much extra, for good or for bad. This is really where the grades are going to come from. That's it. So I hope this helps you. Anytime I hear a lot of confusions, I try to make a quick video or quick explanation on these announcements. That's another great place to check. Also, there is a raise your hand discussion tool. I had a student ask me a question on there, and that's a great place for students to ask questions and answer each other. So if you're feeling like, man, I'm so overwhelmed, are you guys doing all this? Are you guys keeping up with all of this? You can ask each other on this discussion board. You can see one of our classmates, Fadumata, posted there. And definitely keep in touch. Let me know if you feel like it's overwhelming. We can see what other time-saving ideas we can put on your plate. So thanks so much for the email. Keep in touch, and I hope things start to calm down for you over there. Appreciate it. Bye.